All right, I think we're live for our first
Yay!
live review. Now, I wonder if it's no one's gonna be watching it anyway. Live it is.
Yeah,
Hopefully, someone's
nobody's.
watching us otherwise.
If
So
you're
hopefully,
watching
we
this
are
live, already.
sideways this way. I'm going to rotate the device, but it is on landscape, so I don't know what it's going to ask for. So hopefully, this whole thing is said and done. Well, we just got out of watching The Grinch. Here at a cinema. Now, of course, I know what everyone else is thinking. Why are we not watching Overlord? Um,
Bob let me pick. He made the
I let
mistake.
him pick, and I think it worked better for time wise for this theater because it's right down the street from work for him.
Yeah.
So we did go see The Grinch instead of the Nazi zombie movie, which is definitely way more up our end, or the Spider's Web because my wife went to see that. So Cody's not my wife. So
It's true.
sadly enough, sorry.
I know.
Sorry.
No matter what people may think.
But yeah, we just talked about the Grinch, and I'm gonna try. Actually, I'm gonna try. Is that? No. Okay, so that didn't anything. All right, so I'll figure this out for next time. Hopefully,
Okay.
everyone's like, whatever, they already checked off. But we did see the Grinch, and so this was an interesting one to come into because coming into it, we had different opinions of how we think the movie's gonna be. My my comments on my post over what's coming out this weekend was very snarky and negative, and on the
I was very much looking forward to it and have been for over a year.
as we noted on our fall movie preview
Yep.
podcast. Check out the podcast for that. Check out the website, cityofgeek.com for the site. Just go there and you can find everything we write about. But also, just leading with everything. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, we're on all those. Some of them are just repeating everything we already talked about in other places like Twitter and Facebook. Facebook has some new stuff on there. But
Yeah.
anyway, so City of Geek, if you're coming across us randomly without coming from our site, welcome. As we talked about the Grinch. So I'm gonna say my very brief statement of my 2 words over what I thought about it, and then I'll let you start going further. I would say uninspired and mostly unnecessary.
See, now I would actually say I liked it a lot. I thought it was a good modern update for the story. Granted, the last one was only 20 years ago.
Only.
Um,
Well, how many Spider-Man have we had since then?
It's true. I really liked it. I thought it was very well animated. I thought that the music was well done. I thought that the Grinch, they took an interesting take on him, making him more of the antagonist that becomes the protagonist, anti-hero type thing, rather than he was pretty much just the good guy in the 2000 version.
Absolutely, I'll give you that for sure.
I mean,
I'll
they
give you
made
some of those.
they made the Who's the villains in that one. That's a dark movie, and I thought this was very light.
I would disagree about the darkness, but I do understand what you're saying there with, which is something that's lesser in this. I felt that since we did have the Who's are nice to him,
Yeah.
like throughout the entire thing, which kind of makes him more of just a general dick rather
Yeah.
than like an evil asshole. Like in the first time around, yeah, we see. The second time because we have the animated special, which is still easily the best version of the Grinch by far. um,
And I love the 2001. I actually
which
think that one's.
I'm iffy on, to tell the truth.
I definitely think that the animated special one probably is the more iconic one, but I personally enjoy the 2001 more
Oh, fair enough.
because I did grow up with it in the green Grinch ketchup.
I was I was like 18 when that one came out, so it was still it was the right age to snarkily hate it. But no, I liked a lot of the 2001. Jim Carrey was great. The makeup was, I think Rick Baker did the makeup, and it was wonderful. Production design was great. Thought all the story issues were overly long and overly complicated, which is kind of the opposite of what we have here. So kind of like the things I didn't like about that one are also things I didn't like here. This is weird. I know it's kind of maybe hypocritical to find that I thought that one went like way overboard, and this one kind of like pulled it back so much that it didn't really land with anything. That nothing really came through. It's kind of like when it reached the climax and finished, it's like, well, that was 80 minutes, and didn't really feel like it ever reached any sort of narrative drive.
See, now I actually think it did a great job of kind of hybriding the first two adaptations. It kind of took the more light aspects of the first one. It did kind of flesh out the Grinch, but not unnecessarily. Like, you get his motivation, which, I mean, in theory isn't necessary. It wasn't in the book. It wasn't in the original special. But you did get just kind of why the Grinch is like he is. You get to see his interactions with Whoville, and he's not basically like fucking Batman who doesn't, show up and everybody thinks he's a myth at this point.
He's just that asshole.
He's just that dude who lives up in the mountain and is a general dick.
He reminded me like the contrarian type people, like we joked after the movie. He's like, "Come see Star Wars with me." Fuck you! I hate Star Wars. That guy who's just being a jerk simply because, rather than for whatever reason.
He is markedly nicer to the dog. Like I've definitely, even like in the animated one, he's kind of a dick to Max. He's not really that much. He's just they're more like an arguing couple throughout the whole movie. That's
weird.
It was a really weird dynamic with the dog.
Him and Max are an abusive couple.
Pretty much, because he treats him like absolute garbage in the 2001 until the very end.
And here Max is more of a friendly slave.
Yeah. More like
slave.
More like his best friend who's just kind of sad that he has no friends and no life, so he's hangs out with him to pity him. It definitely has that kind of vibrancy. From a color standpoint, it's a very visually, I thought, very well done movie. It does a really good job of animating Whoville. Which we really haven't seen animated like that since the 1960s, without the live action one, which did a wonderful job. Those sets are just in the 2001.
So I thought amazing. The Horton Hears a Who, which actually I'll probably lose any fans for this, any shit for this, but I actually like the 2008 Horton Hears a Who.
I like that
the animated one, but that one I think did a really good job of taking Seuss and putting into this, and that's another thing I would give against this is it didn't feel Seuss. Usually have the weird wordplay or all these really big designs. There's a couple points where that with
I will give you that one
during the during the actual stealing of Christmas. There are a couple of the machines and gadgets he uses, but those aren't really present during the course of the film. So it didn't really feel like they went full Seuss, and that's one of the things that really makes his work really great is the imaginative designs, the creative alliteration, and the things the rhyme schemes, which kind of weirdly enough I think come and go. There's a lot of lines that feel like they're saying like it's going to rhyme, like it's saying it in that tone, and then they don't. And I was like, was that supposed to rhyme? And they changed the line. That's a half rhyme there, right? I
agree on the contractions. I think the Grinch had enough, but Whoville didn't. For my taste, it was a lot of regular stuff.
Exactly, and that's what. And weirdly, if our music and our references for a place that doesn't seem to be Earth, and directly Jesus stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say
of course it is Christmas, but
I mean,
come all you faithful, or come all you gentlemen. One of those two was directly on there with Jesus and Satan and everything. It's okay, I thought we, but hey, that's their choice, That's not shoved down your face there isn't
I know
church scenes or anything like that.
It's not like the Grinch all of a sudden registers Republican and decides that he hates all abortions or anything.
It's Merry Christmas.
Yeah, it's a war on Christmas movie. Fucking Bill O'Reilly votes as the
second
Grinch.
Half. Yeah. The second half becomes why does it say Pureflix? Pureflix Prince, the Grinch. In which the Grinch is the atheist up in the mountain.
And he gets run over by a car in the end.
Yeah, sure, saving. And that's what and that's where I would think why I didn't really dig a lot because I didn't think that Seuss knowledge it lacked. I didn't think it just didn't really lean into its concept. It kind of leaned a lot on, hey, you know this story already. You've seen the story. Here's just a slightly different take.
Which is kind of why I really liked it. Is it didn't insult you with we're telling you the story again. Everybody's seen the fucking Grinch. I have yet to meet somebody, even my Romanian coworker, who's in his mid-60s and doesn't watch TV, knows what the fucking Grinch is. Because I told him I was going to go see the Grinch. He's like, oh, I like that.
Yeah, which also brings up the point of then if we all know it, it's not going to bring anything new to it. Besides the family dynamic stuff and her friends that don't really amount to anything. Cindy Lou's friends, what would be even kind of the point of doing it? Of course, I say this as we watched Suspiria last week, which is actually a really good remake. But I like a lot of pointless remakes. So like 1 week after I loved a different remake, I didn't like this one for kind of love the same.
See, now I actually think it did add enough to the story, and I thought it brought it to a new audience. Because again, you know, the first Grinch is only like a half hour.
Yeah.
You know, it's not really something
But
that
it's a
you
really
get to.
perfect half hour.
It really is. I mean, it's a great, not taking anything away from that, but I thought they did a really good job of expanding on the mythos, I suppose. Putting a new twist on it. I liked.
Cthulhu's in my shirt, so you can't see because of this, but.
And I'm wearing Christmas colors, completely by accident.
The dirty Christmas sweater and a burned face. Wait, that's a different movie.
Fuck.
Crap, no, that was different. That was a trailer somewhere. It was dreams. But anyway, somewhere in the trailer about Nightmare on Elm Street for something that didn't match. But anyway, yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's all good. I thought Cindy Lou was definitely different in this because I found that every single fucking Grinch thing has something different to do with Cindy Lou.
Yeah, she was not a lot to her in the original story. It's more on the Grinch. Yeah,
and then same thing with the original special.
Yeah.
And then they kind of fleshed her out in 2000 because they needed that character to be more. And I liked that interpretation where she was the one actually kind of questioning the corporate nature of what Christmas had become for the Who's. In this one, she's definitely more of like a weird, mischievous child. And they going into spoiler territory here, but it's again, it's the Grinch.
We all know it.
So there is no Mr. Lou Who in this one. So I guess her mom, like, they don't go into it, but I'm assuming the dad died or left.
Probably died. I mean, this place is utopia, so kind of weird that she's struggling when everyone seems to be perfectly fine.
Everybody else seems to be perfectly happy, but yeah. So the mom's works as a nurse or something, because she had like the hospital garb on.
Yeah.
And she's a single mom. She's raising 3 kids, and Cindy Lou's trying to kidnap Santa, which ironically is how she meets the Grinch. Outside of like a chance meeting.
It's not a cage. It's a trap.
Pretty much.
For 2 Halloween references.
That's kind of what
one point where there's a randomly goes to her point of view, and it's through a mask. And like, are we watching Halloween again?
Yeah,
cool.
That was a weirdly weird shot. But yeah, Cindy Lou is just more of a kind of annoying kid. I didn't like the Cindy Lou trying to kidnap Santa plot.
Yeah,
I really thought you could have cut most of that out
except if they cut it would be less than 75 minutes.
True.
So like the thing with her friends, you're like, okay, you see them and then they kind of just drop away. Like,
yeah,
it felt like it was all filler in that case. But also you brought in something that also was where I thought that it didn't mesh with what he was trying, with what the Grinch was trying to do, is that the commercialism wasn't present so much as times. Like, yeah, it's Christmas, but it wasn't like overly Christmas. It's they say it's 3 times as much, but
only the trees that
don't
big.
Need tree. Yeah, we don't see it, and that's this one scene with Angela Lansbury in it, and then it's not mentioned again. Like,
she's in one scene.
You get her for 30 seconds, and that's all Angela Lansbury.
One take. Better have your shit ready.
And she's like 95. She has her shit to do. She can come in, she can do her shit, take her paycheck, and go. So like, I was really taken away from that because the whole point of the Grinch is the line of it came without presents, it came without tags, it came without buttons and bubbles and bags. Whatever the line is, that without that line, it kind of takes away a lot of it. Like, yeah, they do the song, they do the singing, but it doesn't feel like they really lost a lot of, like, it didn't seem like a lot of their focus. Like, it's Christmas, yay!
Yeah.
The big tree, yay! That's not here. Okay. It isn't so much buy, sell that we see in even the previous 2 versions.
Yeah, no, they definitely decouple their focus on that, which I think works and doesn't. I would probably say more doesn't. I would have liked to have seen that a little bit more. Yeah, and then they weirdly set up the Grinch like trying to like romance the mom in the end with some Grinch dick.
Kid number 3 is gonna be half green.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck? Well, kid number 4.
Kid number 4, yeah.
Because they got
the twins.
Yeah, it was really weird. Like, she's like, oh, I'm gonna wish for help from my mom, and then the Grinch starts helping her. I'm like,
oh, okay.
Okay, is this gonna lead? Because it happened in 2000 where he motorboated that chick, and then I mean they basically go with and that's where
What-
Grinch stick comes
Well,
from.
they get as much family in there as a Fast and Furious movie. Family, family, family. And then
Oh.
the yak character who's in there for 2 scenes, and then one scene at the end, then vanishes again.
Okay,
It's all about family.
I loved
He's a
that
Grinch or
yak
whatever.
scene. That was hilarious. That yak, whatever the fuck it was absolutely hilarious, and I loved him. He reminded me of one of my guinea pigs.
So yeah,
Hardcore.
Fred was okay. He got some laughs out of me. I got some good laughs at the end of various things. He looked at me when I laughed at one point, like what? Something worked on you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like we had different watching experiences. I'm just like in the Christmas spirit, and like,
I'm like, when's this
and
gonna
Bob's
end?
just like,
But there's there's that one. I can't remember what it was that made me laugh really hard. But there's a couple Fred bits, even though I didn't feel he added anything really to the movie itself. One of the things like
he
we
felt
need
like
to
filler.
get to the run time. We need to get to the 80. Well, I think it's 80 minutes, 82 minutes after credits.
Yeah.
And I think it's like 75 minutes when the credits started. So you're just like it's like two specials together. Yeah.
It was not long. Like
No.
I was kind of shocked that they didn't do a little bit more.
Yeah, because as soon as he starts doing Christmas, it's like that's like a 3-minute scene. When it starts to happen, it's like an hour into the movie, right? And it's like okay.
And he really only doesn't have as many gadgets as I would have liked. But during that scene, there are a couple callbacks. And Grinch, like he gets attacked by a cat. I really thought that they did a good job with the overly positive Binkelbaum character.
Oh, he was amazing.
Played by Kenan Thompson.
Kenan Thompson he stole that movie. He's
Yeah.
easily the best part of that, if you ask me.
Oh yeah,
I love Wrinklebaum.
and just for his interactions with the Grinch.
Yeah, the stuff with the cat that's what made me laugh.
The stuff with the cat is funny.
Not the dog. I mean,
The dog,
it looked like the cat from
Secret Life
from
of Pets.
So that's what I thought it was first. Like, why is the cat outside? Like, no, it's like a pit bull type dog or a bulldog type dog, no, with the bow tie on. It's like,
Yeah.
but it looked like Chloe from that. I remember that because we saw the trailer, Secret Life of Pets. So I remember Chloe because it's in the down trailer. But yeah, when it rang the doorbell and then was like fed them the food, it's like that made me laugh because Kenan Thompson's so energetic in that role. That he brought a lot more to it that someone else might
Basically,
have.
he's the Ned Flanders to Homer Simpson, who is the Grinch in this one. Yeah, he's this overly positive, howdy neighbor kind of guy. I definitely enjoyed when he finally gets the hug from the Grinch, and it looks like
He's my best friend.
as my best friend.
So yeah, he's definitely enough. He's an added part that I did like.
Yeah.
Even if I would have maybe a little of him like a little later on too, but of what I understand, it's got to go to the Grinch stealing by himself when everyone's strangely asleep and hears nothing. But his sequences were solid stuff.
Yeah, they kind of almost portray him as having PTSD at one point.
Yeah.
When he's wandering through the crowd and he's like got that 1,000-yard stare, trying to avoid everything.
Oh, the Grinch. I thought you were talking about.
Oh no.
Wrinklebaum.
He's
But since we mentioned voice actor for Kenan Thompson, what do you think of Benedict Cumberbatch?
he did a
as
great
Grinch?
job with the role.
Yeah.
I actually really
We'll
liked
disagree
him.
again. I thought he kind of slummed it.
He's definitely no Boris Karloff.
Oh no one is.
Um,
No one is Theodore.
I thought, obviously Boris Karloff's probably the Grinch. I thought Jim Carrey. He's definitely a third, but I think he's a strong third. I really liked the role. I thought this was probably my favorite interpretation of Max.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I thought they did a good job in actually kind of almost humanizing him, making him more of an actual character. Because he was, like I said, he was a punching bag in 2000, and he's more of a prop in the one before. So getting to see the Grinch having like some kind of relationship with with the dog, not like that.
A
But,
lot of one-sided, but like Max does what he does what he can for. He's kind of like, he's kind of Stockholmed, but
yeah, pretty much.
but then obviously we disagree about a lot of things there. But something else maybe is disagreement was the Farrell's narration. I thought that was really blah and uninspired as well.
I wanted to like it. I thought it was pretty much
It
the
seemed
same.
like
It just seemed
one and done. Like you read it and kind of like okay, and like all right, when are we recording? Oh, we recorded. We're good. What?
And it's not even like consistent. It's like the narrator disappears
Yeah.
from large chunks.
And we really didn't need so much of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, too much narration sucks too. So I don't know what getting that right level.
Anthony Hopkins in the 2001 was pretty good. Like
And
they used him
yeah.
at the right points.
And of course, Karloff. And
Oh
Amazing
yeah.
Race. Karloff could read me anything. He's amazing. Or was because he's been
Yeah, I was
50
about
years.
to say I'm like he probably can't read anything to you anymore.
he could.
From
Yeah.
beyond the grave.
They're coming to get you, Barbara. Which is funny because that's an impersonation of Gorlam. They're coming to read you the Grinch, Barbara. They're coming to read it for you.
No, they're coming to read you the Grunch.
Porn version.
The porn version of the
That's not
Grinch.
good. There's too many kids on this. But yeah, so I didn't really feel so much of it. Like I don't hate it. I just didn't feel it was necessary. I didn't really feel the additions to anything. So I'm kind of like, it's there. I'm mixed on the Jim Carrey one, and of course I love the original. Though we can leave the Cat in the Hat meets the Grinch away. And of course, it's anything better, far better than the Cat in the Hat movie.
Live action.
Anything better than that. And
Man, and that pisses me off so much because I thought that the live action Seuss films were really interesting. And then, because, you know, they only got 2 in because the Cat in the Hat fucked it up so bad.
that Mrs. Giesel's like, no.
Yeah, you're not doing that shit again.
And so I like the Horton Hears a Who. I think that's actually a
I
fine
do
film.
not like the Lorax. I'll say
Oh
that.
yeah, I forgot about the Lorax.
When they made the Lorax, the entire message of that being pro-environment, and they put him in a fucking Lexus commercial.
Yeah, I think I read about that in my in the weekend preview. It was like, I'm really surprised they didn't shill the hell to this one, better than that it's but to go against the message like it did last time. But,
Oh yeah, in 2000, there was Grinch shit on
that too,
everything.
Yeah, that was overly commercialized for a movie about commercialized. I was actually talking about the Lorax there.
Oh,
putting him
no.
putting him on cars.
I was...
Like on it, like yeah, Lexus and SUVs and shit.
Yeah.
It's like, did you not pay attention?
But yeah, in 2000, I had, and I was 7 when that movie came out, I had the Grinch PS1 version. I had the Grinch movie book that they released. The stuffed Grinch with Jim Carrey's face on it. The Grinch ketchup. The Grinch action figures. Numerous Grinch action figures. I had a Grinch remote control car. I had a Grinch shirt. I had Grinch pants. I had
He's wearing them right now.
It's true, I am.
They're I can see everything.
Yeah, I mean they didn't grow
I can
with
see
me.
the Grinch.
You can see the Grinch. You know, I had Grinch literally fucking everything, and that was the entire message of that movie was literally anti-commercialism. And I'm sitting there in my like whole Grinch themed life at one point.
I was like, did they not get it? And then Universal still pushes that Grinch. 'Cause when you go to Universal Studios Hollywood and they do the tour ride, the studio tour, they still have the Whoville up. It's kind of falling apart, but they still take you through and they still press the Grinch at you. It's like, really? There's a new one.
Man, I kind of want to go to that now before it eventually does decay to the point where
It's like falling apart. It's really fun to look at. It's like every time I've been down there a couple times, each time it's like a little more falling apart. So yeah, obviously we disagree a lot about this particular version of the Grinch, and I always say that if no matter what anyone tells you, check it out for yourself. It's of interest. Definitely a lot of families are coming out this weekend.
Now I would recommend this for a theater watch, especially if you got kids. I thought the 3D we saw it in 3D was pretty unnecessary.
Yeah, but it's better than it was for the Nutcracker or especially your Venom, which we forgot was in 3D as we were watching it.
Yeah, I was making a joke. You know, 2 3Ds in a row. That's special.
It's like 3.
It's 3.
Well, not including, no, Halloween was between them, but for us going to see the movie because we had a bunch of people with us for Halloween.
The whole carload.
Yeah, and fortunately for this, it looked like we were going to be by ourselves, like we were for Nutcracker. Which check out that video. And 2 people came in right as the movie started.
And then one of those motherfuckers was on his phone the whole movie.
Sat in the corner.
Whole
but,
movie.
You know, wasn't really bothersome because he was in the back corner, but I kept seeing it and I wasn't going to say anything because it's whatever. I normally do, but in this case it wasn't. Do we want to talk about trailers at all? We can call it.
Yeah, let's do some trailers.
So the first trailer I got was this incredibly excited for. It's the best thing out there today. The new Leica movie, Missing Link. Leica's done nothing but 100% movies across the board between Coraline, Paranorman, Box Trolls, and Kubo and the Two Strings.
I'll stick with Smallfoot. Thank you very much.
Get out of my car.
I never saw Smallfoot. No,
no one saw Smallfoot. It's really sad that
really
this is
good.
coming out after Smallfoot because this is probably easier, better Bigfoot Yeti movie.
I'm worried about it cutting into it. I would say.
No one really saw Smallfoot, so maybe they'll forget about it by next summer. I don't know. I can't remember exactly.
It's
when
still
this comes
running
out.
in places too. It's weird. Like I just don't know. I have yet to encounter anybody who's seen Smallfoot.
Yeah, but this, however, looks amazing. Like I love stop motion. Will get me no matter what.
Yeah.
right in the heart. And then yes, Leica's done nothing bad. Like Box Trolls has some issues, but still really good. And Kubo and the Two Strings, one of the best movies from 2 years ago. And so to get another from them is just amazing. The trailer looks funny. The trailer looks really heartwarming. The characterization seems great. It's this one's actually it reminded me a lot of Wallace and Gromit. It seemed very British.
Yeah, that's really the
even
vibe
though
I got.
they're out of Portland. It seemed to have very British children's sensibility. So I'm in for it. Then secondly we got Fast Wreck-It Ralph 2. This a slightly edited version of the last show, where it's slightly shorter.
Yeah.
Um,
This trailer did way more for me than the previous one did. I liked the first Wreck-It Ralph. I did not love it. I know a couple of people who worship the ground that movie walks on. I'm more of a, it was good. I
Yeah.
watched it one time.
I really
Probably will never watch
enjoyed it. I've
again.
seen it twice. I think it works better the second time around. But the first couple trailers for Wreck-It Ralph 2 haven't done anything for me.
Yeah,
Like,
they were
this
really
was the Mochi
mediocre.
movie last year. Between that and this Disney shoving their IPs at you, especially the first show, was like, here's Star Wars, here's the princesses, here's everything else Disney. Really winky, really meta. And this seems to be the new trailer seems to be focusing more of the web jokes. Of course, there's the easy porn jokes, which will likely make me actually review it.
Yeah.
Maybe I presume there can be some wink nudge to that area of the internet when the movie actually comes out.
And then Wreck-It Ralph becomes a Force ghost.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
part of it. It looks like it. It looks like it's good. It looks like it might follow a lot of the same paths though of issues, finding out a new world, falling apart, then but you need to pull the team back together type thing. But yeah, that's what we expect. We got just some shorter edited trailers, a different version of the
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man, Enter Spider-Verse, with a couple new jokes in there. But it's a lot of this same one, like here's your power set, here's this. They're all really selling a lot of different Spider-Men. But this time we get to see like the girl controlling the robot spider.
Oh yeah.
Interesting being Aunt May in the Spider-Man group at the end too. And then the invisibility power thing.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing. I mean, it's going to be set probably in the Ultimate Universe, so
yeah.
that's got. I think the Ultimate Universe has definitely got more, not like better villains, but more fucked up
Tell me
villains.
your voice password to continue.
Wait, what?
Something is going off in your pocket.
It's my fucking Bixby thing.
Tell us your password, Cody.
It's apparently this.
But it's okay discussing that, yeah. But I really like the fact they're leaning into a lot of it. Like, not only the comic book look, which is they started selling the earlier trailers, and then they started to sell all the different Spider-Men. Now they're kind of bringing a lot of the villains. Like, we see Kingpin, Scorpion.
I think Green Goblin.
Green Goblin, was that part when he
Or at least
turned
Ultimate
Spanish.
Green Goblin.
By bringing all the villains, and now we're animated in that weird mixture style, allows us to really kind of lean into their costumes without looking silly. Looking at you, Willem Dafoe, without being. I didn't know Willem Dafoe was in Aquaman. I saw that poster today that came out.
He's in Aquaman?
Yeah, him and Nicole Kidman.
Wait, what?
Yeah, and Ivan Drago, whatever. Anyway, that's what we excited to play. There's a new poster set came out today for Aquaman stuff. That's my big movie for December. I know everyone's looking at like Aquaman or what's that? Mary
Mortal
Poppins.
Engines.
Yeah, everyone's looking for Mortal Engines. Spider-Man is where it's at. Spider-Man's a boy. So
Yeah.
Spider-Man's a favorite hero. Him and Cap. So to get another Spider-Man movie this year, it's better than the last one we saw. Hey, Venom doesn't even really count. Best
And
thing
that
about
made
Venom,
a bunch of money, so they're going to do a fucking sequel, too.
yeah, maybe it'll be better now that everything's off the ground. We got Fantastic Beasts, another shortened version of the previous trailers. It realized that I thought Ezra Miller died last time, but they're still here. So anyway,
Man, they edited the fuck out of that Flashpoint movie.
is it weird? I'm still not excited for Fantastic Beasts. Like, it
I'm gonna
looks
go
bigger
see
and
it.
grander. Oh, yeah, I'll definitely see it.
Only because Carolyn's going to make me.
So no free access this time. That movie's done nothing. Like, it seems like it's just leaning hard into it. Leaning hard into the here's references of things you know, and not in a good way. Like,
Isn't that right,
Spider-Man.
Dumbledore?
Yes, which luckily isn't no longer around. But now Nagini, and I found today that Zoe Kravitz's character is related to the Stranges. So it's like here's a bunch of last names for characters you'll meet later.
Yeah.
Which surprised like if like the Potters end up like in the last one, even though they would be in continuity not born yet.
Oh, are they doing 3 of them?
There's 5 of them. They're doing-
Oh.
yeah, and then a better. That's probably a Curse of Child, but it's really one every like 3 years, taking place in different cities and slightly like different decades. Like I guess it's 5 years, I think, since the first one or something. I don't know. I'll find out when we watch it next week. And everyone else in the world watches it. 'Cause the
5?
pre-sales are huge.
So are they gonna? Do you think they're eventually
They're
gonna do
running this
this?
through the ground.
Do you think they're eventually gonna do Cursed Child though?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the 5th movie still makes money, look at Curse of Child. Then I can't tell my handwriting for that one. So Bumblebee again, also an edited trailer.
Yeah,
Something we've seen before, but slightly different.
Bob likes the Transformers. I know nothing about.
I don't
them.
really like the Transformers. I like the classics, and I like the first one of the Michael Bay ones. The rest of them are pieces of shit. This one looks surprisingly okay.
I don't know.
I'll still see it.
Bob did tell me that the last Transformers was his favorite.
Last night, I don't think I finished last night. Like I finish everything I watch, like even some of the really crap things I watch for the film festival. Thank you, Eric. Hey, Crypticon Film Festival. Hey, come to Crypticon.
Crypticon.
Woo! And I finished the crap ones that ones I know aren't even gonna play. No way in hell these movies are gonna play. And I fell asleep during last night and then put the Netflix back in the next day. I'm like, no, I'm cool. And then we got another one for How to Train Your Dragon 3. The first 2 trailers have been, the first 2 movies have been fantastic. And each trailer here seems to really sell the movie even more.
I mean, it looks good. I've never seen the first 2.
Yeah.
I probably won't see that one unless I see the first 2.
Yeah, check out. You got like this comes out in March, so you get
I got
plenty of
time. Okay. I thought it came out in January for some reason.
No, it's not January now. This is a good
January
movie.
is escape room month.
Yes. Hellboy was there, but they moved it thankfully.
God, that's already coming out.
And then finally, because it's Illumination, we didn't get Minions. Thank God there are mentions of them. But there's Secret Life of Pets 2, because apparently the first one did okay enough to warrant a sequel.
The first one made a fuckload of money.
This time
that.
without Louis C.K., who's
Yeah.
now replaced by Patton Oswalt.
Who, as you correctly said, somebody owed somebody a favor.
Probably. I don't know. Maybe his kids will like it. You know. Maybe like, and of course, there's a couple jokes that we made about Louis. Like the trailer has like Louis C.K.'s character go into a waiting room where he's going to be checked out for whatever reason. So that he's done like. Everyone says we do nasty things, and we're starting to turn to Cody. He's like, yeah, I'm masturbating in front of women. He's like, well, not anymore. It's someone new now.
Yep. Patton Oswalt is just going to eat Arby's sadly without his wife after he wins an Oscar.
But it doesn't really sell. Doesn't really tell you anything. The plot's more like, hey, we're making another one. Here's some animal jokes about what animals are saying when you can't understand them. Though it did make me laugh with the Siamese cats. I can call them that now.
I think.
Whatever. Let's say that the twittish cats who say we make fires. That I always like fires. I like fires in comedy. But yeah, we'll see how that one goes. I hated the first one so much.
I liked it, but I didn't love it. It wasn't something that I would ever watch again.
Though Kevin Hart's character made me laugh, even though Kevin Hart I normally don't like. He made the bunny rabbit, and
oh yeah,
that Minion short in front of it was one of the worst shorts I've seen. The ones that are doing lawn maintenance is like it's a bunch of easy jokes without anything really going for it. So my Illumination track record's really low. So
I cannot wait for Minions 2. We will be there opening night, Bob.
No, we won't. I will hate watch that. Then again, I might watch it to hate watch it. You know,
Yeah.
like we did for Nutcracker. Because I'd go back and watch that because we hate watch that, and hopefully the thing's turn. So yeah, we're at over 30 minutes. So I was hoping we'd actually be done about 25. And it's midnight, so we're
gonna wrap it up. I liked the Grinch. Bob's not too keen on it.
It was meh.
But even then, I didn't like. It's not something that I would like say you got to run out and see it right now. It'll play through the whole holiday season. Wait
Yeah.
for a cheap day, go see it.
When Mary Poppins is filled, check out that. Right? But yeah,
When
that's
Mortal Engines is filled.
yeah, when Mortal Engines is selling out all of its shows, it deletes the Spider-Man to make room for it.
Man, I hope Mortal Engines doesn't do well because we're gonna look like fucking idiots if that happens.
But thank you for watching. If you watched it all the way to the end, obviously we had no viewers during this, but we weren't expecting that because we have like 2 subscribers to the to the YouTube channel.
One of them
You
is
and me. And hopefully over time we'll get a little more. So and people might come back and watch this and say, what did they think of the Grinch? So that's what we thought of the Grinch. And by now, if you're watching this later on, you probably see all the movies that the trailers talked about.
Yep.
But thank you for watching if you did, or fuck you if you didn't. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're not listening anymore.
Eat my
And
ass.
of course, like, share, subscribe, etc. All that jazz.
All that stuff. Follow us, cityofgeek.com.
Yeah, find us there.
The Facebook page.
Thank you. And if you turn this off, weirdly enough. All right.